All right, Bo, so you've got some breaking news for us this morning. Tell us what the plan is.
Yeah, well, look, first and foremost, I just want to thank President Trump and our brilliant AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, for all the hard work that they've put in to this report and really just doing what they can to help this industry. You know, this is an industry that's been beaten down and kicked down over the course of the last decade and a half, more specifically under the Biden regime. All the blue tape that they had to fight through, the headwinds that they were pushing through just to innovate here in the United States is quite remarkable. And, you know, the president created this working group on digital assets in which I'm the executive director, and he tasked us with working across relevant agencies to produce a list of comprehensive regulations and reforms and recommendations that would create a clean and robust framework so industry knows what the rules of the road are. You know, this is no longer policy making through prosecution. We're creating an environment that will allow for these innovators to thrive and build here in the United States.
So can you give us more specifics about what this is going to look like and what these recommendations are?
Sure. So, you know, we've looked at this in really three phases. We've had the demolition phase, removing a lot of the blue tape that existed, eradicating Operation Choke Point 2.0, which was a real thing under the Biden regime. What this was, basically, for your viewers, was an attempt to prevent digital asset firms from interacting with traditional financial institutional players. And so what we've done is we've removed a lot of that blue tape that existed there, those overburdensome regulations. Then we work on construction, which construction here is a stable coin framework, which we've actually had signed into law in this past week with the Genius Act. You know, this is basically a digital dollar. It updates the archaic payment rails within our system. It creates more expeditious and transparent, more cost-effective transactions for the American people. And it also secures U.S. dollar global dominance for decades to come. But the other piece of legislation that we still have to work on is market structure. And we have clarity coming out of the House. You know, both of these bills received immense bipartisan support. So what you'll see in this report is we talk about the bones of market structure, everything that they got right in clarity, what we'd like to see the Senate chamber do and adopt as they push this second piece forward on the legislative agenda. Then we look at implementation. We're talking about tax reforms in this report. We're talking about how we protect consumers in this report. You know, this is over a 160-page document. It's quite robust, but, you know, we're really excited about it. And I just want to thank all the participants of the working group that contributed to this. Paul Atkins over at the SEC, Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick, so many folks that have done so much to propel this industry forward and make sure that the United States is the leader in digital asset financial technology.